morning. My name's Paul Church from Clarity Craft here in the UK. Welcome to another episode of Groovi Tuesday. I see we have some early birds in the room with us this morning over on our YouTube page. We have Ian and Karen already. Good morning. Hope everybody's well. Sue's on holiday this week. She's having a week off. So Stuart will be in the room with you today. If we have any questions, then he'll put some links up. There we go. Susan's coming in. Mo. There we go. There we go. There we go. It's not going to be a good start, is it? Can't even speak. I've got a cough sweet in my mouth as well, particularly throat. So I'll have to take it out, I think, in a minute. So I hope everybody's well. Good morning, Ken, Alison, Mo. So yes, so Stuart will be in the room with you if you have any questions. No doubt some of the lovely design team will also be joining us. Been emailing Josie and Jayne and Glynis this morning. So I'm sure they'll be popping their heads in when they can. So I hope everybody's well. Should we do our usual weekly weather report? It's grey and damp and dull here in Edenbridge, but it doesn't matter. There's no windows in here. So it's a glorious sunny day outside and also inside as well, because we're going to get in the groove and continue our journey. So just reading some of the comments as they come in. Yeah, there's a technical issue with Barb's blog. Jim is on it at the moment. For whatever reason, it's a technical issue. So Jim's on the phone to trying to get that sorted. So I'd say just keep checking throughout the course of today. And hopefully it'll be back again soon. Technology, great when it works, not so great when it doesn't. And then you get little pop-ups on the computer. Go away. So that should be my message from Stuart. Sound is good. Thank you, Stuart. So yeah, dull and damp in Gatwick, overcast Bexhill-on-Sea, lots of people in the southeast, dull in Eastbourne, raining in Washington again. I'm guessing that's Washington, Tyne and Wear, that sort of Northumberland, or is it Washington, USA? Who knows? That's the beauty of the internet, isn't it? You can be anywhere in the world. Oh, this little pop-up, I'm going to get rid of it. Nice weather during the day in Melbourne, but cold in the evenings. Yes, my aunt and uncle are currently in Melbourne. They're due to fly back at the weekend. Spoke to them yesterday, Sunday morning here, and it was night time. So yeah, time differences. Dry but damp in Hartlepool, sunny in Antrim. Lovely to have everybody's company. I hope you've all been well. So there was no Groovi Tuesday last week because I was heading up to TV with Barb for the one-day special. Those lovely floral crescents and panels in Stamp and Groovi. So yeah, they did really, really well. Beautiful, beautiful artwork. So if you missed those, you can have a look on our website. What have I got lined up for you today? Well, we're going to continue using Jayne's Nestorenko's floral sampler plate because we've been looking at white work. I've got some sneaky peeks of what I'm doing on the Groovi headliner on Thursday. I've also got some tools to showcase with you. We've got, Barb mentioned it yesterday, is now available on the website. So this is the calligraphy girls in an A5 square Groovi plate. So that's now available. I'm sure Stuart or one of the design team will put a link up for you. Also available in stamps, which Barb launched in the craft along on Friday just gone. And yesterday during the shack, while you was doing H4 hummingbirds, Barb mentioned the Groovi plate. So lovely Jazz worked her magic. And we've got those available. And this is, I mean, don't have to, but it's all to do with a craft along that Barb will be doing on Thursday, the 30th of May at 7 p.m. So, and it's a 3-course meal, and it's going to be 2 courses stamp, 1 course groovy. So there you go. So Barb will definitely be putting those through the paces. And many of our friends today will recognize these designs because you doodled them in the shack under F for fashion. So, so yeah, so there you go, available now. So she does work very fast, doesn't she, Ken? Jazz is a whiz on the old designs. So you've got the 3 lovely characters, you've got a lovely frame around the outside, and you've got the sentiments. Exactly the same. I mean, there's no frame in the stamps, but the same sentiments on the Groovi as well. So, so there we go. So they're available. Stuart's popped the links up. Thank you, Stuart. Okay, that's a little bit. Just wanted to give you the heads up on that because we put them live yesterday afternoon. I thought, all right, perfect opportunity for all our groovy friends out there. Go and grab your groovy plate, so to speak. Okay, so over the past, what are we on? We're episode 139. I think we're 139, and I think we're on part 5 of this. I think I didn't write on my notes. Let's have a look. What was the previous notes? No, I think we're part 5. So anyway, we're working through this lovely plate from Jayne Nestorenko. So the designs are her beautiful flowers, and Jazz, as always, worked her magic and created this lovely sampler plate. And I thought this was a great way of practicing various different techniques, from white work to colouring to perforating, because you've got some beautiful designs. You've got the dahlias, the roses, the fuchsias, the agapanthus, the holly and the ivy, and the poinsettia. And we've been concentrating on the lovely dahlia because I thought that was a great one. And I took my inspiration from a piece of artwork created by Karen Jackson. So, so that's what we've been working towards over the past few weeks, and we've been slowly building up our layers of white work. And this is how far we've got so far. And what I was doing a little note of what size tool we used, how many layers, just so we could see the difference as we start to build up. Now, if I remember rightly, correct me if I'm wrong, I think we got slightly sidetracked, not last week, the week before, because I was showing off the corner punches, wasn't I? So the lovely corner punches were back in stock. And so I got sidetracked with that, showing you how they worked. So it's definitely time to continue our journey with this. And what we did when we looked at the front of our artwork, we traced it out in the various different size Groovi tools. So we traced this one with the number 1 Groovi tool, this one with the number 2, the line art with the number 3 on this one, and number 4, which is barely visible, using this one. And on the top ones, we've been using the ball tools. So back in stock, again, if you've missed it, we've got the 3mm and the 4.5. They're back in stock and also available, but I know many of you have already taken advantage of those. But we've also now got back in stock the shader tools. So the shader tools come in 3 different sizes. Let me zoom in a little bit so we can really, let's have a look at these. I'm going to stretch, and which way am I going? I'm going this way. I'll move the tools once we come in close. Okay, really. So we had the 3 different sizes. So we've got the 1.2. Bring them down a little bit. The 1.2, the 1, and this one here is the 0.8. Now this was discontinued by Pergamano before we purchased the company. and we've now reintroduced it. So some of you may have it, some of you may not. Some of you may not have any of the shader tools. And we've got a little special offer on the website at the moment where you can buy all 3 of them with a £3 saving plus your club discount. And I'll be putting these through their paces on Create and Craft on Thursday as well. So, I mean, these, you know, when we look at the lovely artwork from Linda Williams and Josie and Jayne, where they do that fantastic shadow embossing. And I've always struggled using the ball tools to do that shadow embossing. I'm just trying to see if I've got a bit of artwork here whilst we're talking. Typical is I should have brought a piece in. I wonder. Let me have a look. I'm just delving into different bits and pieces. Right, okay, this is perfect. This should showcase it. Yes. Okay, excuse me. Okay. So when we're talking about shadow embossing, what we're looking at is this type of effect here. You know how you create the veins within the petals? Now, I've always struggled to create this with the ball tools because the balls are balls. Whereas with the shader tools, I can definitely achieve this because I can, not only can I see through, but for me, I've got a little bit more control. Okay, so for me, these are definitely a game changer when it comes to creating this look. Okay, so if you've always wanted to achieve this look, then maybe the shader tools is the way to go. And I'm just having a look at some artwork here of a sneaky peek of tomorrow. Yeah, on Thursday. Let me show you this. Hang on a minute. So if I bring this in, this is from Linda Williams. It's the wrap. See these lovely flowers? Who's created this piece? This has been created by Francis Knott. And you can see here, if I bring that up a little bit, how by doing the shadow embossing, you're creating that lovely sort of line art. Now, I don't know what Francis has used to create this, but for me personally, it would definitely be more achievable using the shader tools. Okay, so I'm sure Stuart will pop a link up to those. How do you tell which size each shader tool is? I have one, but not sure which size it is, and obviously don't want to duplicate when I buy them. Good question. Okay, let me think for. I knew I should have thought about this beforehand. Okay, so when I've got them side by side, obviously I can see you've got small, medium, and large. 0.8, 1, 1.2. Okay, now if I hold them upright, excuse me, hang on, I've got a little tickle in my throat. I wonder if I come in on this one. Ooh. I'm just going to turn the mic off for a moment. I just need to cough. Just bear with me for a moment. Have a look at this lovely piece of artwork. Just bear with. Sorry about that. I think it's quite warm in here, and I think because it's quite warm and there's no sort of air, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop the, I know this sounds really weird, I'm going to pop the fan on to try and circulate some air around. Okay, right, let's go back to this camera. So if we look at the largest shader tool, you can see that there's not much of a space between the outer part. I'm going to go on this one, right? Oh, it doesn't help. My nails look terrible. Okay, so the space between the tool, or the paper clip, and here isn't very big, is it? So when we go down to the next size, there's definitely a bigger space between on the outside, yeah? And then when you look at this one, it's definitely, I need to come in on this one. Hang on. Goodness me. Let's turn that around. So the one I'm turning now is a 0.8, which is the small one. Then the one in the middle is turning is the 1. And then the largest one is the 1.2. So let's try something else. Okay. Let's take my ruler. Let's take some white paper underneath. Let's have a look on the overhead. Okay, so the small one, where's my goggles? Definitely need my goggles for this. Old age is creeping in. Definitely creeping in. Okay. That's better. Okay, so if I take the edge of the tool, so it's, what is it? 1, 2, 3. So it's about 4mm from the outer edge to the outer edge. Okay, on that one. And then the 1mm is 4mm. And then the largest one is 5mm. Okay, so it's 5, 4, and 3. That sort of makes sense, doesn't it? 5, 4, 3. Now the ends, if I show you the ends, they all look the same. Okay, so they all look the same on the end because they're all shader tools. So if you measure, so let's write this down. Let me take a pen. There's a pen. Let's see if it works. That's a nice color. Okay, so the what we go? So the 1.2 millimeter, the 1mm. Oh, I can't do my M's, and the 0.8mm. So this we said was 3mm, 4mm, and 5mm. So that's the width of the metal piece from the outside. Okay, so if you've got, there we go. So Deborah's got the largest one. It's 5mm. There you go. Yeah, that was the easiest way, isn't it? Good idea, JC. Measure the width of each one of the pools so that people can measure theirs. There we go. It's a bit steady, isn't it, on a Groovi Tuesday? Get your tools out and measure on a ruler. So yeah, so the middle one is definitely 4. The 0.8 is definitely 3. And then the larger one is definitely 5. Okay. I've gotten the wrong way around, haven't I? I'm glad somebody's paying attention. 5, 4, 3. There you go. Ignore what I just said. I'm glad I've got some company today. Oh, goodness me. Okay, let's put my glasses down. Maybe I should just put my glasses back on. So that's how, there we go. So the 1.2 is 5mm wide. The 1mm is 4 millimeters wide, and the 0.8 is 3 millimeters wide. There we go. See, it's so great to have the feedback to tell me that I'm wrong, but I was wrong. So there we go. Okay. Right, so should we have a look at what we've been doing? Right, okay. Come back, come on in, friends. They are different lengths as well. The larger one's definitely longer than the other two. The other two are roughly the same length. That's right, Ken. I'm keeping on toes, making sure that everyone's paying attention. Yes, I was just testing you all. Okay, so we're looking at the front, and I think not last week, the week before, I just concentrated on one of the dahlias, didn't I? And I introduced the 3 mil ball tool on this one here, because I've just got there. And what I forgot to do was to put my little strike to say that I'd done one layer. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to have a look at this one, and I want to have a look at using the shader tools. Okay, the length doesn't help if you only have one. Absolutely. See, I'm glad everybody's paying attention this morning. I'm just doing it to test you all. Okay. That's my excuse anyway. Right, old age. Yeah, definitely. Right, I'm going to go for my pink mat. Really nice and pink. If you've got your black mat, you can use your black mat. If you're new to doing white work, then I suggest you put a poly bag in between your soft side of your black mat and your parchment. We're working on the back. So what we're going to do, I'm going to write on here, probably should write it on there. So I'm going to go with the 1.2 millimeters. So this is my shaders. And over here are my ball tools. Okay. And so we're going to sort of differentiate between the two. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give it a wipe with the tumble dry sheet. Like so. And before I go into my little sampler that we're creating, I'm going to have a practice on my, remember we created this practice one. So I'm going to practice, warm up my hand on this one here. Okay. Now, how do you hold the tool? It's, as far as I'm aware, there's not a right way or a wrong way. Okay. So I want to start from here and I want to come inward. So I'm holding it in the flat position, like so. However, you can still hold it. I suppose it goes back to your picot cutting, doesn't it? So you've got your fork position where it's pointing downwards, or you've got your spoon position where it's pointing upwards. Let's ask some of the experts in the room, hence I'm not an expert. Josie, Jayne, Glynis, when using the shader tools, do you use the spoon or do you use the fork? What about everybody else? When you're using the shader tools, do you use spoon or fork? Okay. So I'm going to warm up my hand. I'm going to take my Groovi guard to concentrate on that. That fan's really cold on my legs now. There we go. Glynis is a spoon person. And what we're going to do is we're now going to see, for me, with the shader tool, I can feel the edge of that shader tool going into the groove. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to gently pull the tool towards me. Okay. Just gradually, it doesn't look as if I've done anything at all. Come Karen uses a spoon. Margaret uses a spoon. Okay, next question. Towards you or away from you? Okay, so it looks as if spoon is the most popular option. Okay. So for those of you, I can sort of see questions sort of popping up about the different sizes. Now, since we owned Pergamano, which was, I think it was 2017, I think I've been here a year, I think it was 2017 when we purchased Pergamano, the 0.8 had been discontinued. So we've never sold the 0.8 shader tool because it didn't exist in the catalogue when we bought it. There was no stock. We had obviously the details of it, but we didn't inherit any stock when we bought the company. So if you've only been doing Groovi, Parchment, Pergamano since we've owned it, which is January 2007, if I'm correct, then you wouldn't have bought the 0.8 from us, and we wouldn't have had it on TV because we didn't have any in the cupboard. So that might help if you're unsure which ones you have. Okay, so we'll go. So most towards, much easier, more control spoon wise. There we go. So spoon is definitely the popular option. So now what I'm doing, I'm just getting used to the feel of the tool. Okay. And we can see, because we've got that light coverage. Jayne, sorry, Jayne, I just read your comment. That really made me giggle. Hi, Paul. Sorry I'm late. I had to take things to the tip and got stuck in traffic. I'm thinking, poor Colin, why has she taken Colin to the tip? But it wasn't Colin. You didn't take Colin to the tip. You took stuff to the tip. Isn't it funny what the eye reads, what the eye wants to see sometimes? Okay. I hope Colin didn't go to the tip. Okay. I just sort of caught that out of the corner of my eye. So Josie's towards her. Okay, so this seems to be the most popular option for many of our friends that are watching today. Okay, but for me, I mean, I've got a lovely, I was going to say a lovely bit of coverage. I have got a lovely bit of coverage. I need to put my teeth in today. I don't know what's going on. Let me bring a black piece of card in. Okay, so this is where I've used the shader tool, and this is where I was practicing with the wall tools to warm up. So on this, for me, I've got more of a equal coverage. Jayne says she did take Colin with her. It was a trip out for him, but I hope you brought him back, Jayne. So yeah, and also it feels smoother to the touch on the front as well. Okay, so that's using the largest one. So let's go down a notch. Let's go with the 1 mil. See, for me, I don't know. I've definitely got more control than I would with the ball tool. I don't know, maybe it's psychological. But if I wanted to introduce that sort of line effect, it's definitely more that lovely shadow embossing look. It's definitely easier with, well, that was a tiny one, with the shader for me personally. So if I bring this up just so you can see how, how I've introduced that sort of line on there as well. Okay, question from Anne. Am I using the tool on the back or the front of the parchment? Apologies, Anne. I am using it on the back. I tend to use it on the back the most, but there are certain techniques where you do the front and the back. Now, it was a couple of weeks back, well, it must have been a couple of months back, Barbara stood in and did the Groovi Tuesday, and she was doing those lovely frills on one of our plates, and that's where you do white work on the back, and then you turn it over on the front, and then with a piece of cello bag on top to stop it going shiny, you then do it. So what happens is you get that natural looking curve. I think there might be a bit of artwork here that I can show you. Oh, actually, look what I've just found. This was the stuff that Barb was using. I don't know whether Stuart could have a look up that episode. It was a couple of weeks ago. Definitely a couple of, I'd say, around at April, February, March time. Barb did a Groovi Tuesday. So you see here how you got this lovely frill. So you would do some on one side, and then you would do some on the reverse as well. And this is the shadow embossing that I was talking about. See, Linda, she's used the ball tools to do this. So she's done 2 layers of the 6mm, another 2 layers of the 6mm, and then 4.5 and the 3 to get that lovely shadow embossing. For me, as I say, I've always struggled to get the perfect spacing of those lines using ball tools. Ken, you make me laugh. Today we'll be mostly working on the back with a spoon, embossing towards us. We will indeed. So I've always I've struggled with ball tools, but the shader tools definitely make it more achievable. Okay, right. So I'm going to go to my actual piece of artwork now, and I'm going to start with the largest one. Now, what you could do is if you decide to go for the tools, when you get them, you could put a little black dot on there for the large one, 2 black dots for the medium, and 3 black dots for the smallest one. Okay, then you know. But then I suppose if you hold them side by side, you'll definitely see the difference in the sizes. That was, I think, who suggested? I think it was a Jayne or a Josie suggestion, that was. Okay, right, and breathe. Oh, goodness me. Okay, so we're going to go on this one now, where I've used the number 3 tool. And what we're going to do, remember how we did up here? We put a little pencil asterisk to say I'm starting here and I'm going clockwise, so that when I come all the way around, I know I need to stop and mark it as 1 layer. Okay, so if I do that, because obviously I can rub that pencil line out as well. Are we ready? And breathe. So I'm now gently applying the pressure, and what we're doing now is we're just putting a base coat down. So I'm moving to each of the individual petals, like we did with the ball tools. Okay. And because we're using the number 3 tool, the outer line isn't as vibrant. Judith, she did indeed say that when Barbara, it was a lovely little, I can't think where we were. I think we was up at Leyburn when we used to travel for our open days. And there was Barbara. I always remember, often tells the story, a little sort of Scottish lady. Looked as if butter wouldn't melt, and we were new to parchment craft at the time, and that's exactly what the lady said to Barbara on how she remembered what side of the parchment you needed to do the embossing and the perforating. So yeah, I'm glad somebody else said it because I wasn't going to say it. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to do one layer with the largest one, which is the 1.2, and you can definitely see that, can't you? Yeah, it's very, very subtle. And what I'm doing, I'm turning my work so it's comfortable for me. See, what I've got to do is twist my hand and it feels uncomfortable. So turn your work. So I'm still working on the back and I'm in the spoon position and I'm pulling the tool towards me. Okay, that seems to be the overall consensus of our friends in the room. Okay, so it's still the same type of technique. So if this is the line in my finger, if that is the outline of the image, then I'm holding the tool, not flat, but I'm still holding it at an angle. And all I'm doing is I'm still flicking as if I was using the ball tool. So it's the same technique. So all we're doing, we're just using a different tool. So we're going to work our way around. And once we've put one layer on, I'll give you a sneaky peek of the Groovi headliner on Thursday on Create and Craft. And I will be on at 8 AM, 12 PM and 4 PM on Thursday. And then on Friday, Barb will be releasing the next collection of those fantastic abstract layout dies with stamps, lovely infusion papers. We've got some new Wiis as well. So the theme for this release is bees and butterflies. So lovely Jazz has been working on those to bring them to us. So what we're doing, see that, I feel confident, happy. I don't know. It's one of those words, isn't it? Well, obviously it is one of those words. I'm just so glad that Mr. Dave, he spent months and months and months trying to get all this sorted for us, to get the tools back in stock, to get it all sorted. So they're now made here in the UK. Look, I love that. So easy. Did I miss that one? I think I did. Yeah, I don't think I did that one. Nice. Very nice. So when you compare it to that one, it doesn't have anything on. So what we're going to do, I'm going to mark that with my pencil so that I've done one layer. And that's using the 1.2. Okay. The bees are brilliant. They are indeed, Jayne. Okay, so the artwork from the design team. Excuse me. I need a drop of coffee. It's so warm. When my when the room gets warm, I get this tickle in my throat, probably because I'm talking too much. Needs lubricating with coffee. It doesn't help when you miss your mouth either. Right, okay. Should have a look at what's coming up. I sort of gave you a little hint. What I'm going to do, let me pop that back on there while I refocus the overhead camera. Let me see, I want to zoom out. So I'm going to come all the way out. There we go. Got nice. Right. So the past couple of months, I've been showcasing Linda Williams' It's a Wrap. Many of our friends at home will be familiar with the designs already. So these are lovely A4 plates. So we had part one, which was a semicircle floral lace gatefold. And we also had the diagonal rose lace trifold. And in the first part, the hexagonal flourish lace gatefold. So they were from part one. Okay. And in addition, you also get inspiration from Linda on various layouts for each of the plates. So I've keep all mine in a lovely folder. Then last month, we brought you the pretty pocket. So you can create lovely little pockets. You've got so many different decorative elements around the outside. You've got frames. I love this one. It's sort of like an infill. It's lovely. Then we had the ribbon wraparound. So these are like belly bands that you could wrap around boxes, your cards, etc. And then we had our envelope. So the envelope then housed the various cards that we'd already brought to you. On Thursday, I'm doing part 3. So part 3 is the butterfly trifold. So many decorative elements on there. Give yourself time to grow your wings. No, give yourself time to blossom and fly, grow your wings and find your true colours. Lovely. So you've got instructions on the plate as well, but you also get your printed ideas and inspiration from Linda. Then I love this one. This is the hummingbird and magnolia. I really love magnolias. And hummingbird, you're doing in the shack with Barb, aren't you? Look, there's a little hummingbird there. So this is the trifold as well, spare elements, but you can just take these elements. I mean, take that, do another one, and you've got a square. It's endless of the different things that you can do with this one. Then the third one in part 3 is the It's a Wrap Dragonfly gatefold. Spare designs, decorative elements, you've got borders, you've got the dragonflies. You can do 3D if you want to pico cut. And you've also got the ideas and inspiration. And then next month, we'll be showcasing the folded heart design and also the bells. The bells. Now, this collection and this collection I'm taking on TV tomorrow, Linda had the idea that maybe we should do some card blanks to go with them. So also on the show, we will have the card blanks for the butterfly, okay, and the dragonfly card blanks, and also the hummingbird card blanks as well. And they all come with small little card stands as well. So we'll have a selection of those on the TV on Thursday. And now let's have a look at some artwork from the design team to show some different options. So this one here, we established this from Francis Knott. So Francis has used 2 different shades of parchment, got some perga glitter on there as well. And then you open it up and you can see now you've got your card blank on the inside. So it just gives a little bit of stability if required. You don't have to use the card blanks, but it can definitely make a difference. This piece is from the lovely Glynis. Look at this. Now Glynis, oh, I thought that was a sticky fixer, but it's not. With love. Beautiful. They are. All this artwork is absolutely stunning. We've got one from Josie using our lovely coloured parchment. So this is your gatefold. And I'll be showing you, if you've got the coloured parchment, how to take the colour out, how to reintroduce it. So these are sort of like the card shapes as well. You can see that the card blanks have been used on these. But however, say you don't want to. This one is from Karen Jackson. See, this is nice. With love on your birthday. Really beautiful. All of the artwork is, it just blows me away every single time. This one here is from Francis again. So just a lovely normal, I say that's probably a 7x7 card. A little bit of perga glitter on there, some acrylic paint on there to create the little dib dab dobs, whatever they're called. Dib dab dobs, whatever they're called. Another one from Francis. Hummingbirds and magnolias. Look at that. Oh, that's all I brought in. I thought I had more. So there's some lovely artwork. I'm only showing you a little bit. I'll show more on TV on Thursday. And when Barb's blog's fixed, it'll all be on there as well for you to peruse. So that's what's coming up on Thursday on Create and Craft at 8 AM, 12 o'clock and 4 PM. And I've got some lovely demos that Linda prepared previously that I'll be putting through their paces to show some of the different things that you can do with it. Definitely could be using the coloured parchment because it really, a lovely two-tone parchment. There's a lovely one that Linda created and it's using the lime twist and orange squash, I think it is. Orange, it's definitely orange squash, and I'm sure it's orange squash and lime twist. That's a lovely sort of really vibrant colours. And sometimes you'll look at it and think, oh, it's a bit beautiful. So may do that at 8 or 12 or 4. I haven't decided yet. It's my job after this. What else have I got to tell you? So that's Thursday. Then on Friday at 9 AM and 1 PM is Barb with the next collection of the abstract layout, dies, stamps, papers, etc. So Barb's currently sort of working her magic on those to share with you on Friday. Trio of shaders, we've spoken about those. The lovely calligraphy girls in Groovi and in Stamps for a craft along with Barb on the 30th of May. And that's a Thursday at 7 o'clock. But don't worry, if you can't join in live, you can always go back and watch afterwards. Maybe who tuned in on Friday? That was a real sort of feast, wasn't it? Using Barb's Loving Heart. If you missed that, you can go back and watch that at any time. Then what else? Oh, the open day tickets. They are selling very fast. So we have Friday and Saturday, 2 fun-filled days, £8 each. Club discount doesn't apply on those. Full of demonstrations, hourly raffles, there's refreshments, there's free parking, there is make and takes, there's a snip clinic with Glynis. So we've got demonstration, we've got Linda Williams, Josie Davison and Jayne Telford. They're all things Groovi and parchment. Then on the Stampy RT Mixed Mediary, you've got Sam Crow, Dee Paramore and Eileen Godwin. On the Snip Clinic, you've got Glynis. So if you want to have a go at picot cutting or perfecting it, maybe you're struggling with that, then there we go. Glynis says snippety snip snip. We've got make and takes. Hazel Edwards is doing the Groovi one and something brand new for the open days. And Tina Morris is doing the Stampy one, something new for that as well. It's all going on behind the scenes at the moment. So yeah, and then the hourly raffle. When you come in, your ticket, you need to put your name and address on the back, and then there's £100 prize draw after the 2 days are finished. There's hourly raffles. You'll get a raffle ticket when you come in. It's amazing. It really is the highlight of the Clarity calendar, and we always look so forward to doing that. I think I'm on dyes and felt. Barb will be getting all stampy and whatever magic she brings up, Barb will be doing that. So yeah, it's great. They really are. I'm sure many of our friends in the room have been many times before, because we've had them in sort of different places, haven't we, over the years? And we got the summer retreats. They're filling up fast at the same location, and the Parchment Retreat in October in Tunbridge Wells. So all that information is available on the website. If you go to the front page and you scroll down, you go to the events section. On the front page, there's a lovely little banner that says events. Click in there, and then it's got all the details of your tickets and everything else. And if you're ever unsure about anything, don't forget you can always give the office a call. Pete's manning the phones this week while Sue's on holiday. So yeah, 2 fun-filled days. They really are. Okay, I'm going back to my shader tools. So let's have a look. Bring my pink mat back in. I've got to turn this fan off now because my legs are absolutely freezing. Oh, right, let's zoom in again. Ouch, static. Zoom in, which way? There we go. I've just read what Ken says. Glynis's Snip Clinic always brings tears to my eyes. Can I just add that what Ken means by that is tears of laughter and pure joy? Isn't that right, Ken? Okay, so what we're going to do now, I'm going to stick with the larger one, which is the 1.2, and we're going to put another layer on as well. I'm not wearing a kilt. I've never worn a kilt, Mr. Ken. Never. Okay, so spoon position and towards me. I reckon I can come in a little bit closer. Hang on. Zoom in a little bit more. Whee. These new glasses definitely make a difference. Oh, this chair. Get stuck on the carpet, the wheels go in the wrong direction. Okay. So I'm going to do another layer with the, give it a little wipe. There we go. Never hurts to give it a little wipe, another little wipe. Pat's been walking the girls before the rain. Pat, have you been walking the calligraphy girls? Whee! Got the calligraphy girls in Groovi now, Pat, and in the stamps. So using the shader tool. I don't know, for me, I don't know. I'm getting a better coverage of white work. Maybe it's just, I don't know. So all we're doing now is we're just building up the layers as we go along. Okay. Super. And you can really see zero. I mean, we've got like a sneaky peek of this one at the top where you've got that bright white outline. Maybe you're new to white work and you're not sure about excuse me, tracing out in the larger ball tools. This is why, for me, this is a good way of sort of creating this little sampler plate. Okay, I've just been told off by Glynis now. Glynis is right. I'm just excited about the shader tools. It does go quicker with the shaders, but it still needs to rest. Yes, Glynis, it does. I know. I got carried away, didn't I? But it's for TV, for the nature of TV. But no, absolutely. It's still, the parchment is still being stretched. Definitely. But it would have rested by next week. What I should have done, I should have gone to this one over here. Okay. But for that one, for me personally, to help me with that, I'm going to bring my light panel in. Bring it in next week, as if I'm doing a school project. I'm going to be using the light panel next week for this one, because I can just about see it as it is. Okay, so that's why I didn't go. No, I forgot to. I should have gone over on that one. But the light panel next week for sure. I better write that down. Hang on. Light panel next week. Okay. See, and also with the shader tool, I don't know. I mean, as Barb often says, we haven't really sort of read the rule book. So, I mean, even holding it at a slight angle as you're sort of going round, I don't know. Is that right? Is it wrong? Who knows? I'm sure somebody will tell me. But look, you can definitely see. I love this. I really. Jayne's off to get her thinking cap on for some secret stuff. Okay, Jayne. Love to you both. Nod, nod, wink, wink. See you on the other side. But it's definitely easier to keep turning your work. And my hands are really warm, so the Groovi guard is definitely making a difference on that. So what's Maggie saying? It seems easier to me to place a shader and to get better white work. I agree with Glynis. It is easier to emboss on flowers for me, especially with the different sizes of shaders. You don't get the problem of gaps around the edges. Yeah, absolutely. So Ken said, take care. Car in itself. Just tried again to set my skybox to record Thursday and Friday's clarity events up at CNC, but they have not put you in yet. It's so annoying, and so then forget to do it. Has anyone else got this problem? I will reach out to. I don't know what frequency is they update the sky planners for that. It's way too technical for me, but I'll make some inquiries and find out when they do it. Josie's working on secret stuff. It's possible that it's been submitted and maybe, I don't know, maybe it hasn't been updated by Sky, or maybe it has to wait for something to appear overnight. I don't know. Well, I'll make some inquiries. Okay. Right, I'm going to let that rest. Oops, where's my pencil? I need to mark that I've done 2 layers of the 1.2 on this one. So this is the back. This is the front. Okay. if I take some black card, there we go. Don't forget, this one here has had 5 layers of white work using the ball tool. I mean, this one's only had 4. This one has had 2 so far. It, to me, it reminds me of those, what do you call it? You know those, oh, what are they called? It's like black and you scratch it and it reveals. For me, that's what and it reveals like gold or silver, or you sort of scratch out the image, it's printed onto the black, isn't it? And it's that sort of lovely sketchiness, that artwork. And for me, in a way, that's what this reminds me of. You've got that lovely sort of soft tone of colour. Or am I getting it confused with something else? I think I'm getting it confused with something else. Who knows? It's been one of those days for talking a load of gibberish right from the beginning and right to the end. So thank you once again for joining me. I'll be back again next week and we're going to continue with the shaders. Don't forget to grab your calligraphy guide. Whenever I say calligraphy, it reminds me like calendar girls, doesn't it? So you've got your stamps and you've got your Groovi, and that'll be part of the craft along with Barb on the 30th. We'll give you a reminder each week. So there's no more Shack Now until Monday because I'm going up tomorrow afternoon, so because I've got set up ready for 8 AM on Thursday, and then Barb will come up Thursday afternoon, evening, ready for 9 o'clock the following morning. So I hope you can join us. Otherwise, we will see you back in the Shack on Monday, and I believe you are continuing with H, and it's going to be Happy Hippies. Happy Hippies. That sounds like real fun. So thank you, Stuart, for putting the links up, for the fantastic design team as always, and of course your lovely company. If you're not tuning in live, you're watching afterwards, then that's fine. Just don't forget to go and check out those new shaders. And I will see you all next week. Take care now. Bye bye.